Picture this, it's December in 2023 and you and all of your boys are back playing Fortnite on the OG map for the first time in like 5 years. And it's great. Your favorite streamers have returned from months of silence so you can watch them play the old game you once fell in love with. Everything felt incredible and it was the most fun you've had playing Fortnite in the last 5 years. But the real question is, could that feeling be recreated a year from now or is it lost forever? In case you didn't already know, following the success of Fortnite OG just under a year ago, Epic Games is bringing it back in hopes of revitalizing Fortnite once again, but this time it's different. On November 2nd, Epic will be launching Fortnite OG. Chapter 2. This year, we'll see Fortnite Chapter 2 return throughout November, featuring Seasons 1, 2, and 3. But the big question is, will Fortnite recapture the same success as last year? Will it flop, or could it even surpass the original Fortnite OG launch? Well, a lot of it depends on how they execute it. Before diving into what Epic Games can do to make this year's OG Fortnite a hit, let's first take a look at what went wrong in December 2023 with the original Fortnite OGI release. Now, although Fortnite OG saw the largest number of concurrent players Fortnite has ever seen since its release in 2017, there were a few mistakes throughout the chapter that just didn't quite make much sense. For example, the loot pool not matching up correctly with the seasons, some POIs being slightly different like the main building in Tilted being replaced with whatever this is, and the various pirate outposts around the map that just didn't quite add up. One of the biggest problems seemed to be that we were given the Season 5 map, and throughout the month it seemed like things were only added and nothing was removed. We missed out on quite a lot of things like the entire jungle biome, with the volcano and lazy lagoon, and the snow area just wasn't the same and was missing POIs like Happy Hamlet and Polar Peak. But I guess it had its positives, at least we didn't have to experience this again.
I'm dead, I got one shot.
Psycho time!
These missing POIs weren't the only mistake that Epic made throughout the season. The loot pool just wouldn't match up to the correct season throughout the whole month, and it just didn't really make much sense. Weapons were vaulted and unvaulted in the wrong order, and it was just really random. For example, the heavy sniper was originally released in Season 5, but during OG Fortnite it was nowhere to be seen during Season 5, and instead was unvaulted during the later season remakes, which just seemed wrong. Some weapons were updated for no reason, like the scoped AR and burst were extremely nerfed, which just made them awful to use, and they just wasn't the same as they were back in Chapter 1. Some items were changed when they just didn't need to be, like the grappler was changed from 10 shots to 20, and it was made so you don't take full damage when using it. And some weapons just didn't make a return at all, like the OG revolver.
Oh my god!
And to make it even more confusing, some items from Chapter 4 were introduced like the motorcycles and grapple glove, and although they were good additions and made the gameplay flow better, they were just not needed in the OG Fortnite remake. Another unnecessary change was the random rifts that were placed all over the map that were infinite. Like they just wasn't needed at all, and they definitely didn't need to be infinite when there was already plenty of movement and rotation items in the game. I know they were mainly added for zero build players to get back onto the map if they fell off down the side of the map, but that's a problem that people had to deal with back in Chapter 1, with building as well.
Courage. Didn't have a good... Ah! No! No! Okay, I need a rescue mission, please.
Okay, we need to get some materials. Everyone get some materials.
Did he fall?
Please help me.
Honestly, dude, just leave
Bro,
him there.
what?
Look. I heard a chest. I walked off.
What happened?
Say the right name. What's my name?
Daddy!
That's right. That's right, dude.
Oh.
It's fault. You gonna get it?
There you go, man.
Are you gonna get it? You gotta get it.
No, he was only one!
I just think that if you are going to try and promote it as OG Fortnite, then that's what it should be, and everything should be reintroduced properly as it was back in Chapter 1. Now, although the majority of people see Chapter 1 as nostalgic and prime Fortnite, the release of OG Fortnite Chapter 2 next month could do just as well as the first OG Fortnite if it is done properly. If Epic Games learn from the mistakes that they made from last year, then Chapter 2, OG could potentially be amazing and revive the Fortnite community for the second time. Fortnite OG Chapter 2 will see the game repeat through Seasons 1, 2, and 3 throughout the course of November and into early December. Even though the majority of people see Chapter 1 as the perfect version of Fortnite, I personally think Chapter 2 Season 2 was just the absolute peak of Fortnite, and if done properly, the release of Fortnite OG 2 could be literally perfect. Epic Games are going to have to do things differently compared to last year. For example, the Chapter 2 map is going to have to change as the seasons progress. For example, the middle island is going to have to change from just the island into the agency and then into the authority. And the old mythic POIs will have to be added like the shark and the rig. But the biggest decision Epic will have to make is how they are going to remake the Season 3 flooded map. If you don't remember or didn't play the game back then, during Chapter 2 Season 3, the entire map was flooded after Season 2 live event, and gradually throughout the season, the water levels would decrease, revealing more and more of the map. Now, of course, with OG Fortnite only being released for around a month, and Season 3 specifically only being around 1 week, this just isn't going to happen the same way. Epic Games are probably going to release one version of this flooded map, and that will be all we get for the entire Season 3 remake. Now, unfortunately, they are probably going to choose the version of the map where the water levels have entirely decreased, as this would be the only real map option for zero builds. That means that the only map change they will probably make from Season 2 to Season 3 is the introduction of the best POI in Fortnite ever. Now let's go through what we should be expecting to see in terms of the loot pool for each season. The Season 1 loot pool was pretty basic, and most of the weapons were reskinned but would still perform near enough the same way as they would in Chapter 1, except for a few changes like the legendary and epic pistols becoming fully automatic. But Season 2 is where we will see the return of the very first mythic weapons introduced to Fortnite. The mythic Scar, minigun, grapple, bow and arrow, AK, and of course the Midas drum gun. It's going to be interesting to see how Epic implement these weapons this time round, and if they make any changes to the original versions, because as I'm sure we all know, these mythic weapons, especially the drum gun, were just insanely OP, and every time they've been added back into Fortnite down the line, they have always been nerfed versions. Personally, I think in order to recreate the true experience of an OG Chapter 2, the weapons need to be exactly how they were when they first got released, as this was really a true part of the season. And finally, the Season 3 loot pool will probably be very similar to the Season 2 one, with a few changes to the mythic weapons like the mythic charge shotgun and the insane shockwave grenade launcher. Originally, Season 3 also introduced cars, so it will be interesting to see if they will be in OG Chapter 2 from the very start, or if they will only be added during the last week of Season 3. Fortnite has been selling these cosmetics for cars for over a year now, so I don't really see them removing cars for almost 3 weeks until the final season for the chapter, so if I had to guess, we will be seeing them in the first season, but I wouldn't really mind. So, will Fortnite OG Chapter 2 actually be good? I think it will. The only real problem with the first OG Fortnite was the inconsistencies with the loot pool and map updates, but now that they've made that mistake, I think Epic will execute OG Chapter 2 a lot better. The map through Seasons 1 to 3 also make this a lot easier, as there wasn't as many major changes to the actual size of the map, but instead just changes to POIs. Ultimately, it's going to be hard for OG Chapter 2 to live up to the hype of the original OG Fortnite, as many don't have that same nostalgic feeling towards Chapter 2. But I have no doubt that Fortnite will once again see a huge spike in numbers for the entirety of November as players come back to play the game they once fell in love with.